Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you didn't know by now, my name is Diana, aka Chef D, and today guys, we are doing 3 meal ideas of my what I actually eat in a day. But the spin-off here is that we are using my favorite Trader Joe's products. Now, not everything is gonna be Trader Joe's, but the main components for these dishes are Trader Joe's products. Now, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Me having a full-time job, trying to do this whole YouTube video thing, it's, it takes time, and sometimes, I just don't have, an hour or 40 minutes to spare to make myself a meal versus, going out or ordering in. Sometimes, I just want to cozy up, I just want a quick meal, and these are where these ideas literally come from, and that's why I'm sharing them with you, because you can actually make this however you kind of want to make it, but the ideas that I'm giving you are here in this video. We're going to be starting off with my favorite cauliflower pancakes, then we're going to spin off to my favorite semi-homemade wonton soup, and lastly we are going to be doing my favorite protein bowl. I kind of call it protein power bowl because y'all, it has so many components, so many textures, so many flavors, and it is super easy. And what I love about this is that usually I have leftovers of the soup and the dinner. So I'll have that for my lunch the next day or like for dinner the next day. And honestly, I can just never get bored of these products. Another note, if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, y'all, you don't need to worry. I mean, seriously. There are plenty of cauliflower pancakes out there. I'm 100% sure of that. There are plenty of nicely cooked, chicken strips and like chickpea cans. And, like I said, this video, we are going to be doing this semi-homemade. So I will be giving you like dressings and sauces that like literally have a shelf life for up to 2 weeks if you place them in the fridge. So let's get to the video, y'all. Now for the breakfast ingredients, we have our beautiful lime wedge, and this is to prevent browning. We have our house avocado. Now we are having our prosciutto di Parma, horseradish of course, our beautiful cauliflower pancakes from Trader Joe's, sour cream from Trader Joe's, red pepper flakes, and this is optional, minced or chopped chives. So for the cauliflower pancakes, I'm literally doing a switch up from what the box says. The original box obviously says do them in a frying pan or a saute pan with a little bit of oil. Your girl don't got time for that. So she came up with a method of actually doing it in the toaster. So as you see right here, we have my toaster, and this is the actual method. You pop it on defrost and you put it at a 5. Once that's done, you're going to press the button to toast again for another 5. So defrost 5, then toast 5. Now, when I say 5, it's because in my little meter thing, I have it from 1 all the way to 8, but both methods are at 5. Meanwhile, our cauliflower pancakes are defrosting. Let's get started with the avocados. It's really simple. Literally, I'm just using the lime wedge, squeezing on top, adding a little bit of salt on top. With your regular fork, we just start mashing it up. And at this point, you can obviously add more lime, you can add more salt, and I'm definitely adding pepper because flavor. Now that the defrost cycle has ended, now we're just gonna literally keep them in there. Press and touch that toaster button once again and put it either at a 4 or a 5. Press it down and let them cook again. While we're doing that, let's make our horseradish sour cream sauce. We're only gonna be needing sour cream for this, like in a little mixing bowl is fine. We're going to be adding in our beautiful horseradish. Now, mind you guys, this is pure horseradish, not horseradish sauce. So make sure that when you do buy this, make sure it's pure horseradish. And basically what we're going to be doing is adding a little bit of salt, and if you want a little bit of pepper, and we're gonna give this a beautiful mix. And I promise you guys, the flavor to this is literally amazing. Let's start plating, and pretty much we're adding the smashed avocados on top of that beautifully toasted cauliflower pancake. Now, if you want to have a bit more avocado, just go ahead and use another avocado. That's perfectly fine. Let's make sure we're spreading every single little nook and cranny out, and then we are going to be adding my favorite prosciutto di Parma. Now for this, This is optional, and you can definitely use turkey bacon, you can use Canadian bacon, but honestly the thinly sliced of this and the salty flavor and the aged flavor really gets to me. And obviously it's already made, so there's really no fuss except just serving. And now we're going to be adding that fresh and creamy horseradish sauce on top, and finally we are adding those minced beautiful chives. Like I said, this is optional, and also the red pepper flake is optional, but y'all, it's flavor, it's texture, and it is just so good and so simple, y'all. Now for this dumpling slash wonton soup, two of my favorite products from here is their dumplings that are chicken or either pork, pick and choose your fave, their chicken broth veggie stock. We are adding our sesame oil to a medium-high stovetop onto our soup pot, and now we're going to be adding our veggies. Guys, make sure that when you add the veggies, the sesame oil, like you see in the video, is nice and hot. We don't want to be adding, you know, obviously cold vegetables to cold oil. Next, we're going to be adding our favorite ginger paste. It's pretty much ginger, I believe, water, you know, to make it more easier to just, you know, get out of the tube. Love this stuff. Very potent, very flavorful. Now we're literally just gonna mix everything together. We want all those flavors to mingle. We don't really want to cook the veggies that much. We just want to make sure that they are a little bit al dente. Now we're adding in our scallions. I love scallions, so honestly you can go as much as you want or as little as you like. Let's add in our 5 cups of either chicken broth, low sodium, or veggie broth, obviously low sodium as well. Why low sodium? Because we are going to be adding soy sauce and coconut aminos, so we want to make sure that we get a nice balance of flavor and not too salty. Now for that coconut aminos, just to add a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of color, obviously. Next, we're going to be adding our salty component, which is the low sodium soy sauce. Obviously, you can use either low sodium or just regular. We're going to be adding our fresh lime just to add that tartness. Remember, depth of flavor and depth of texture, that's really what we're going for, y'all. Stir everything together so we can get all those umami flavors going on, and turn down that stovetop to a medium heat. So we're going from a medium high to a medium heat. Once we do that, we're going to be adding our wontons in. Now the wontons, honestly guys, I love 5 per person, but you can most definitely do 5 for one person, 7 for another. This is literally up to you. And basically what we're going to do is just going to stir that a bit, and we're going to let these wontons cook for 7 to 9 minutes. Once the time has passed that the dumplings are done, what we're going to do is we are going to be cracking those eggs directly into that beautiful soup, making sure that we're leaving enough space for both eggs to cook on each side. Now the trick here is, guys, do not move it, do not touch it, just let it be. It will literally curl up like you're making poached eggs. And for my preference, honestly, I just love poaching this in the broth for 2 to 3 minutes for the eggs. For the finishing touch, I'm adding a bit of sriracha. This is optional, and you can go as light or as heavy as you want. You can also use sambal for this if that's your preferred method of heat. We're ladling everything into our favorite bowls, and pretty much what I'm doing is adding my favorite toppings. Obviously we have our egg, which is a topping for me. We're adding our cilantro, we're adding our thinly sliced scallions. I'm also adding a little bit of more of that beautiful fresh lime juice just to add a bit more of that acidic notes. And now we're going to be topping it off with a little bit more toppings that I am obsessed with, and that is crispy shallots or crispy onions. They do sell them at Chinese supermarkets or any kind of supermarket that you can get. These is completely fine. I'm adding a little bit more of sambal on top of there, and that is our beautiful under 15 minutes lunch, guys. Look at those beautiful dumplings. Look at those beautiful toppings. I'm telling you guys, this is perfect for winter and just perfect all around. Now for our dinner, this is the protein power bowl. It is amazing. We are doing a fresh dressing for this. We are adding a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of protein, and a little bit of carbs to make this exceptionally good. For the dressing, we have our olive oil, salt, oregano, good quality Dijon mustard, and all balsamic vinegar. The only thing that we're gonna need to do is literally add everything into one jar or a small bowl with your fork or with the lid of the jar. Just shake everything up or mix everything up, and you've got yourself a fresh, easy dressing. Another tip, if you want to make this dressing a little bit more sweet, I honestly love that sweetness. I actually add a stevia packet to this beautiful dressing, mix it up, and it is absolutely delicious. The same consistency, the same flavor, and it has a shelf life in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. If it gets thicker during the week, just add a little bit of more olive oil and you're good to go. So now for the chicken. Quick explanation, it is strips of chicken that they do sell at Trader Joe's that they have grilled. Now I am adding flavor to this because obviously I love flavor and I love texture. So we're starting off with olive oil, a saute pan at a medium high heat. We're adding in red onions, but you can definitely use white onions for this recipe. And what we want to do is we want to get sauteed that a little bit. We want to get a little bit of that flavor in that oil. That is exactly what this chicken strip needs. Even though it does have a little bit of flavor, I just want to add more flavor. And now we're adding in our chicken strips. Now you can use as much as you want or as little as you want. I would say if you're gonna do meal prep, just make the whole thing. And like you'll see in the video, I literally stored it up in my little meal prep bowl. And now I'm adding paprika. I am using sweet paprika for this, smoked sweet paprika actually, and we're literally sauteing this. Now the instructions, it says that you do need to saute this with a little bit of water, so that is exactly what we're gonna do, but we're switching it up and adding our own little twist. And here I am just gonna put a little bit of water. This was probably 2 tablespoons of water that I added for the package. And the surprise here, why I say it's a massive protein bowl, is because we're actually gonna be adding another staple, which is chickpeas. Now these chickpeas are canned chickpeas, and I did get them at Trader Joe's, but obviously we can get chickpeas everywhere nowadays. And basically what I'm doing is I'm mixing those chickpeas with that beautiful flavoring that I've created here for these chicken strips, and we're just gonna saute them for 7 to 10 minutes until the chicken is done and until we have based all those flavors with everything that we have put together. Now at this stage, if you want, you can obviously add a little bit of more sweet paprika, you can add some spices, but I'm sticking to the olive oil, red onions, paprika, and definitely I will be adding a salt and pepper. It's crunch time. I am ready to serve, and we are going to start serving our base layer, which is romaine lettuce that I've literally chopped up. Now you can definitely use your favorite type of lettuce or what you have available, and what I love doing is making a base layer. Then after that, I love seasoning the lettuce. People always forget to season the lettuce, but honestly it's important. I'm not saying add salt, but a little bit of black pepper and just a tiny bit of that dressing that you made really makes a difference when you're biting into every single bite of this protein bowl. Now we're going to get started on adding our main component, which is my favorite honestly, which is this 90-second rice that you can get at any store. This one is actually quinoa. It has a little bit of brown rice and it is honestly just delicious, and literally you make it in the microwave for 90 seconds and you're good to go. They also sell some sort of variation like this at Trader Joe's, but I believe it's just brown rice that you can microwave and it is absolutely delicious. Now we are going to be adding in our protein, which is the chicken and chickpeas. Now I'm doing this right down in the middle of the protein power bowl because I want to see those textures and I definitely want to see those colors. And you know, I just love having everything, kind of knowing what I'm getting myself into when I'm actually eating this. Yes, it's weird, but it's all good. And the rest of the leftovers, I'm just going to pop a lid on there and that will be my meal prep for tomorrow. Next, what we're going to be doing is adding our favorite veggies. Now for this dish, I love adding peppers, green, red, yellow peppers, fine. I love adding red onions. I love adding tomatoes, but you can definitely play around with the veggies that you have in your fridge and that are most convenient for you. The last thing that I love adding is these grilled artichokes from Trader Joe's that they sell there, but you can definitely have them in other stores. I know they have beautiful ones in Whole Foods and in Fresh Market and also in Publix. Now we're adding sliced Kalamata olives right in the line next to the chicken. Like I said, guys, I eat a lot based off of my eyes, so I love, you know, looking at the flavors and I love looking at the textures. Well, not flavors, more like textures. And I just added a little bit of grated Parmigiano Reggiano on top, and now we're adding the final step, which is the beautiful homemade dressing that we made. And guys, this is literally our dinner. Everything that you see here, y'all, we can definitely make another bowl for another person or just another bowl for another day, and you have yourself a mighty dinner with those proteins and nutrients that we need. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to give your girl a big like, a big share, and a big subscribe so you can get new videos every single week. And don't forget to check out my Instagram where you can DM me, ask me your questions, or my website where you can get all these amazing tips and tricks. Have a good day or a good night, and I will see you next week. Ciao.